under lead. Mammy's gonna bake a little shortening bread. That ain't all Mammy's gonna do. She's gonna make a little coffee too. Mammy's little baby loves shortening, shortening. Mammy's little baby loves shortening.
Oh, hello. Welcome to another installment of Matt and Teri's Kitchen. What am I doing today? I'm actually sharpening my knife because I'm going to be using it. So, today we're going to be making my special chicken salad. I've never made it before actually, so it's going to be new to you and me. First though, is we are going to toast a bun, or a Texas toast. My favorite kind of Texas toast comes from Pepperidge Farms. Now what we need to do is we need to preheat the oven to 350. And then, you know, a little trick that I like to have is on your baking sheet is to use some foil. That way you don't really dirty up the pan. So we're just going to do one, because one's always enough. Now, a little trick that I was always told is you don't actually have to wait for the oven to be preheated. You can just stick them on in there. You just got to keep your eye on it. So, let's stick our Texas toast in the oven. We'll start toasting. We'll set the timer for a minute. We'll check on it here in a minute. Okay, so we will be, I accidentally turned on the microwave. What an idiot. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. The next thing we need to do is we need to put our chicken on the grill. Now, we don't have an actual grill for outside, so I like to use the trusty George Foreman grill. Keeps your meat very lean. So, what I've done with 2 pieces of tenderloin chicken is actually make my own marinade. Secret recipe. Not quite sure how it's going to taste, but we're going to try it anyway. So, a little tip for you people out there is whenever dealing with uncooked chicken, you want to make sure that you don't contaminate any of your other foods. So we're going to close that. We need to throw this bag away. Oh. For the bread, let me wash my hands first because I just touched some raw chicken. Always handy to keep a towel behind you too. Still doing good. Nothing to really report on. Okay, well what I'm going to add to the chicken and the lettuce is a bell pepper. Got these bell peppers on sale at Food for Less, great store if you live in California. Now the way I like to cut up my bell peppers is to cut the seeds out before you cut it. That way it's like a little cup you can just dump into the trash can. So you cut it into halves. And then you cut those halves into halves. It's all preference. It's all personal preference. However thin you want them. Make sure you have a good sharp knife. Mine isn't too sharp, so you might have trouble with pieces. Okay. Now what we're going to do with these pieces is we are actually going to saute them. And what we're going to use for that is some extra virgin olive oil, extra light. We've just got a little pan here. We need to turn on the stove, if it will turn on. Or we'll just use this other stove. There we go. Don't want it too high, because we don't want the pan to get too hot. Now we'll just drizzle in a little olive oil. Not too much. Now we've got a lot of things going, so you gotta keep your mind right. We're gonna check the bread. It's still good. Still not quite toasted yet. So we need to move this around. Increase the temperature a little bit because we're about to add in our bell peppers. So we got our bell peppers going, our chicken going, our bread going. Let's let those cook for a little bit and we'll be right back. Hear that crackling? It means it's cooking. Now what you want to be careful is not letting them saute, the bell peppers saute enough, because if they don't, then they'll be kind of in this state between cooked and uncooked. It's not very good, especially for the kind of aesthetical look. I'll show you a little trick that I learned at a restaurant. I'm an expert flipper. Benolios would be proud. So we're going to let those cook. We got to double check on our bread. Still alright. Now kids, do not do that at home. I am a trained professional and can stick my hand in an oven because I can't. So while we're waiting for things to cook, let's actually cut this tomato that we're going to put in our salad. Now I like bigger pieces of tomato in my salad, and that was a terrible cutting job. I like bigger pieces of tomato in my salad. You can cut them up as small as you want. I like to keep that flavor intact, so I like bigger pieces. And I think it looks prettier in presentation. So we'll see this aside for when we're ready to plate. Let's come back over here to the bell peppers. You can see a little browning on that side. Kids, do not try to saute on your own. There's hot oil, it pops up. You don't want to burn yourself. And if you do get burned, please call 911. So we got those going. They're getting pretty good. Let's check on our chicken though. See how that's going. Oh yeah, look at that. That color. Now one thing I like to do before I actually take my chicken off the plate is make sure that it's cooked all the way through. So I just give a little cut there. All of that inside is white. So that means it's cooked. So we can actually take the chicken off. Turn that off. You gotta let your meat rest for a little bit. So now all we're really waiting on is the bell peppers. See how they're toasted on one side. Looks good. I think we can actually turn them off. And when we come back, we will plate our meal. Smell that toasty wonderfulness. So we are ready to plate. So let's get a handy dandy plate here. Okay. So how we're going to construct this is we're going to put the bread on top, then we're going to put the salad, the bell peppers, tomatoes, and then the chicken. Or vice versa. So let's get the piece of bread out first. Okay. We just put it right in the middle there. Now I have this sweet baby lettuce that I'm going to use today, courtesy of Dole. So I like to just grab a handful, and we'll place that on top of there. Now one thing that my sister always said was you like to have a lot of color in your meals. So actually we're going to put the chicken on first. Kind of lay it on top. There. Oh. And it's okay if it's not as pretty as you want it to be. Substance over fashion, I guess we would say. Okay, now I'm going to put the tomatoes on. bell peppers on. See how they just kind of fall on there. All that. Now I'm feeling a little frisky today, so I think I'm actually going to add a little feta cheese. Give a little extra something to it. Not too much, just kind of garnishing it with cheese, breaking it up with your hand. And then last but not least, we're going to drizzle it with a little California honey French. Not too much, just kind of give it a little taste. There we go. And that is my chicken salad a la toast. And welcome back. Now our most fun thing that we get to do for the meal is take a bite. The flavors are just so good. The marinade, the salad, magnifique. Now, after you eat your meal, don't forget to clean up your area. Always a common courtesy to a roommate or a family member. A clean kitchen is a happy kitchen. So I will see you guys next time. I'm going to finish the rest of this meal. And join us again for Matt and Teri's Kitchen. See you guys later.
Baby loves shortening, shortening. Her little baby loves shortening bread.